Imagine two people, same city, same job, same salary. One of them, 10 years from now, has a paid-off car, a growing investment account, and barely thinks about money stress. The other one is still living paycheck to paycheck, wondering where all the money went. Same income, completely different outcomes. And here's the part that's going to mess with your head a little. The difference had almost nothing to do with how hard they worked, how lucky they got, or even how much they knew about investing. It came down to one psychological trick, a mental habit so simple that most people overlook it completely. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, the way you think about every dollar you earn is going to shift. Most of us were taught to think about money in a very specific way. You earn it, you pay your bills, you spend what's left, and if there's anything remaining at the end of the month, great, you save it. If there isn't, well, there's always next month. This is the default money script running in the background of most people's financial lives, and it feels completely logical. It feels responsible even. Pay your obligations first, live your life, save whatever you can. But here's the problem with that approach. There is almost never anything left at the end of the month. You know why? Because of something called lifestyle expansion. The moment you have money available, your brain starts finding places to put it. A dinner out, a new subscription, a slightly nicer version of something you already have. None of these feel like big decisions, but they add up silently and constantly until your savings account looks exactly the same as it did 3 months ago. And it's not because you're bad with money. It's not because you're lazy or irresponsible. It's because your brain is running on a system that was never designed to build wealth. It was designed to make you feel comfortable right now. That's the trap, and almost everyone falls into it. So what do wealthy people do differently? They flipped the script, literally. Instead of earn, spend, save whatever's left, they operate on a completely different sequence. Earn, save first, then spend whatever's left. 3 words shifted, entire financial life changed. This idea has a name. Some people call it paying yourself first, but calling it that makes it sound like a budgeting tip, a checkbox on a financial to-do list. It's actually something much deeper than that. It's a psychological rewiring of how you relate to money. Let me show you what I mean with a simple example. Say you bring home $2,000 a month. Under the old system, you pay rent, utilities, groceries, subscriptions, maybe go out a few times, buy something online, and then, if the math works out, you transfer $50 to savings, maybe $100 if you're having a good month. Under the new system, the moment that $2,000 hits your account, $200 automatically moves to a separate savings or investment account. You never see it in your spending money. You never feel it leave. And now you're working with $1,800 for the month. Here's the fascinating part. Studies on human behavior show that people adapt their spending to whatever feels available. Give someone $2,000 to work with, and they'll spend around $2,000. Give them $1,800, and they'll spend around $1,800. The lifestyle adjusts. The needs reshape themselves around the new number. Your brain doesn't actually know how much you make. It only knows how much feels accessible. That's the trick. You're engineering your own perception of what's available. Now, let's go deeper, because this is where it gets really interesting. There's a psychological concept called present bias. It's the reason you choose the pizza tonight over the salad you planned for. It's the reason you hit snooze instead of going to the gym. And it is absolutely the reason most people choose to spend money today instead of investing it for later. Your brain heavily discounts the future, not because you don't care about your future self. You do, intellectually. But emotionally, your future self feels like a stranger, a distant, blurry version of you that you'll deal with eventually. And we don't make sacrifices for strangers the way we make them for ourselves right now. This is why willpower-based saving almost never works long-term. Every single month, you're asking yourself to make a fresh decision to delay satisfaction, and every single month, your present brain is going to argue with your future brain.
and present brain is loud, persuasive, and standing right there in front of you. Wealthy people don't win this argument by having more willpower. They win it by removing the argument entirely. When money is automatically moved before you ever touch it, there's no decision to make, there's no temptation to resist. The psychological battle simply doesn't happen. You can't spend what isn't there, and more importantly, you don't even feel like it's missing. This is called automation as a wealth strategy, and it is one of the most powerful and most underused tools in personal finance. Think about it this way. Imagine you had a friend who every month took a portion of your paycheck, put it somewhere safe and growing, and only gave you the rest to work with. And this friend was completely reliable, never forgot, and never let you talk them out of it. That friend is an automated transfer. Set it up once, and it works for you every single month without requiring any motivation, any discipline, or any willpower whatsoever. The wealthy don't have stronger minds, they've built better systems. But here's where this gets even more interesting, because there's a second layer to this psychology that most people never reach. It's not just about saving, it's about identity. When you consistently pay yourself first, something happens over time. You start to see yourself differently. You stop being someone who is trying to save money and start being someone who saves money. That shift from behavior to identity is enormous. Psychologists who study behavior change have found that identity-based habits are far more durable than goal-based ones. If you're saving because you want to reach a number, you'll stop when you hit resistance. But if you're saving because that's simply who you are, the behavior becomes automatic, almost effortless. Rich people aren't just following a financial strategy, they've adopted a financial identity, and that identity shapes every small decision they make. The coffee they skip, the car they don't upgrade, the impulse purchase they pass on, not out of deprivation, but because it simply doesn't align with who they see themselves as. This is what looks like discipline from the outside, but from the inside, it doesn't feel like discipline at all. It just feels like being themselves. And the beautiful part? Anyone can build this identity. It doesn't start with a big salary or a windfall. It starts with a single automated transfer, even a small one, because the amount isn't the point. The habit is the point. The identity is the point. So what do you actually do with this? Start simple. Go to your bank account this week and set up an automatic transfer for the day after your paycheck arrives. It doesn't have to be dramatic. 10% is ideal if you can manage it, but even 2 or 3% is enough to start building the habit and, more importantly, the identity. Move it somewhere separate from your day-to-day account, out of sight, out of mind. A high-yield savings account works. A basic investment account works even better because your money is doing something while it sits there. Then leave it alone. Don't count it every week. Don't stress about whether it's enough. Just let the system work. Over time, increase the percentage. Every time you get a raise or a bonus, redirect a portion of that new money to your automated savings before you ever get used to having it. This is called the savings escalator, and it is one of the cleanest, most painless ways to grow wealth without ever feeling like you're giving anything up. And here's the mindset shift that ties it all together. Stop thinking of this transfer as money leaving you. Start thinking of it as money going to work for you. Every dollar in that account is a tiny employee clocking in every day, building something in the background while you live your life. The goal isn't to restrict your life. The goal is to build a second life, a financial life running in parallel to your daily one that grows quietly and consistently until one day it becomes impossible to ignore. Here's the thought I want to leave you with. Most people spend their entire working lives trading time for money. They work, they earn, they spend, and then they need to work again. The cycle repeats decade after decade until retirement or until the body or the motivation gives out. But money, when you pay yourself first and let it grow, starts to earn on its own. It starts to compound. And compounding is the one force in personal finance that genuinely feels like magic because it accelerates over time in a way that seems almost unfair. The people who figured this out early aren't necessarily smarter than you. They just started one habit sooner, one automated transfer, one small rewiring of how they thought about the money coming in. They stopped asking, "What can I spend?" and started asking, "What can I keep?" And that one question, asked consistently, month after month, year after year, is the difference between the two people we met at the beginning of this video. Same salary, same city, same opportunities, one question apart. If this video made you think differently about how you handle your money, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to go deeper on how to actually build wealth on an average income, the next video is going to break down exactly how compounding works and why starting 10 years earlier is worth more than doubling your income. See you there.